Welcome back, students. This is the continuation of lesson number 4, working with queries. Okay, so in part 1 we have already learned how to create a query and specifying a simple criteria and a multiple criteria using a query. Okay, so in today's session you will learn how to create, design and format a form, entering a record through form in a datasheet window, and creating a report. So let us begin. So this is my table with the name student table in a datasheet view. Okay, and let me show you one more thing. So this is my form based on a database that I have created. Okay, now why form? Why should we use form? As we can directly enter the record using a datasheet view. Okay, so in general, a form is a piece of paper on which we fills the required information in a specific fields that are given. So form in MS Access 2007, it works quite similar to it. Okay, what does the form do? Form will allow you to add and update data in one record at a time in a table. So let me repeat once again. Form helps you to add and update the record, that is one record at a time in a table. Now, as I've already said that although Access provides a datasheet view, and this datasheet view is also a convenient way for entering the data, but still it is not an appropriate tool for every data entry situation. Okay, now why this is not an appropriate tools for using every data entry situation? Because what happen is sometimes when you work with a different user and you do not want to expose or show your confidential data, you may choose to use a access form to create a more user-friendly interface. Now, if you see here, if you enter the data using a datasheet view, you can view the records of other students as well. Okay, but what happens if you enter the data using a form? You can only enter one record at a time. You can only see one record at a time. So what happens in this case? It will not expose or it will not show the record of other students. Okay, now I am going to show you how to create a form, how to design and format the form first. Okay, so let us begin. Now I am going to create a form based on this table. Okay, so to create the form, click on the create tab. Okay, under the forms group, click on the form button. So once you click on the form button, your form window has appeared. Okay, now at the left hand side you can see a view button. So there are three main views where the form is displayed. Okay, so just click on the drop down arrow. You can see a form view. Using the form view you can enter, edit and view the data. You can also use the layout view to change the appearance and the size of the form. Besides, you can also use the design view to design the form. So you can use either the layout view or design view to design and format the form. Okay, so let me use a layout view to format the form. Now first I want to use a picture. I just want to give the image or a logo for this form. So here is a logo button under the controls tab. So click on this button. So if you have any pictures, any images in your PC, then you can just simply select it. So I just want to use the TI logo here. Okay, just select it and click on OK. The logo has appeared. So just increase the size of the logo, okay, by dragging the fill handle. Now next I want to use the title. So click on the title button here. So already there is a name with the students. So let me modify it. So I just want to rename it as students information sheet. Okay, so this will be the title of my form. Now let me slightly decrease the size of this text box and place it somewhere else. Now you can also use the font formatting to change the appearance of this text. So under the format tab, we call this as a font group. So you can change the font color of this text. Okay, you can make it bold. You can also increase the size of the text as well, and if you want, you can also change the handwriting style. Okay, now next I want to enter the date and time. So here you can see a date and time button. So click on this date and time button, and you can just select the date and a time. Okay, and click on OK, the time and date format, and finally click on OK. So you can see here the date and time format has also appeared. Let me slightly bring it here, and let me format this date as well. Okay, so let me give one of the colors. Suppose say let me use the color this one. Let me slightly increase the size of the text as well. Okay, and let me change one of the handwriting style to something like this, and let me make it bold. Now date. Now let me just change the font for the date, and let me give one of the color. Suppose say a green color. Let me slightly increase the size of the text or the date as well. Let me make it bold, and let me change the handwriting style. Okay, so now what I have done is I have given the date. Okay, I have given the day and year as well, and I have also used the given the title for this form, and I have used the logo as well. Okay, so now my formatting part is completed. Now let me come down in the main level. We call this as a level. Okay, so there are 6 different levels, and we call this box as a text box. Now let me format the level as well. Okay, so click on one of the level, go to the font options. You can give one of the color that you want to apply to the level, make it bold, or what you can also do is you can select it. Okay, just select the whole level and give one of the color you want. If you want to increase the size of the level, just slightly increase the size of the level. Okay, you can make it bold as well. If you want to place it in the center, click on the center alignment. You can also place it on the left or right side. Now you can also give the background color as well. So if you want to give the background color to the form, click outside the form. Okay, and you can see this option. We call it as a fill back color option. So click on this option and use one of the color that you want to apply. Okay, now I have already formatted and designed the form. Now what I want to do is I want to enter the data using a form. Okay, now let me show you. Right now my table is empty. Okay, now what I am going to do is I will enter the records using a form in my datasheet view. Okay, so now you cannot re-enter the data directly here. Okay, why? Because right now I am in the layout view. Okay, form layout view. So if you want to enter the record, you need to go to the view button, click on the drop down arrow and click on form view. Now once you click on the form view, you can see that the cursor has appeared. Now you can write the name you want. Suppose say let me write the name as Anuj Pandey. Okay, Anuj Pandey, and let me write down randomly the marks. Suppose say English 89, suppose say Hindi 59, okay, 77, 95 in this way. Okay, now you have to click on the save button here. Now you see under the record group in the home tab. Let me repeat once again. Under the record group in the home tab, you can see the save button here. Click on this save button. Now go to the datasheet view. So this is my datasheet view. Click on this button. So right now you cannot see anything else here. Okay, now what you have to do is you have to click on the refresh button here. Click on the refresh button. You can see one new record has been added. Okay, so in this way, again go to the form. So this is my form window. Click on the form window. Now how to clear this record? If you want to clear this record, you have to click on the new button here. Okay, click on the new button. So the record has been cleared. Now add another record. let me write, suppose say Simi Agarwal, okay, and put some of the marks randomly here, one after the another, okay. Now again you have to save. The same process has to be repeated. Click on the save button. Now go to the datasheet window, okay, refresh it. Now see, another record will get added. Now again, if you want to enter the new record, go to your form, okay. Now just click on the new button, it will get erased, and enter the record, okay. So in this way you can enter the record one by one, means one record at a time, okay, using a form. Now let me go back to my form here. So you can see that I have already filled some of the records for the students, okay, about the record. So seems in the same way, what you can do is you can click on this students info button. So this is my form. Again, click on the new option, the data will get erased. Similarly, you can enter the new record that you want, okay, and click on the save button. Go back to the student datasheet and click on refresh button. So in this way you can enter the record one after the other, okay. Now why form? Because I have already said that form helps you to enter one record at a time. Suppose if you want to see the first record, we call this as a record navigation pane. So under the record navigation pane, if you click on this button, we call this as a first record. So it will show you the first record. If you click on this button, we call this as a last record. It will directly show the last record. So in between, if you want to see the others record, so you can click on the previous record here. It will show the record one by one, okay. So if you want to see the next record, click on this next button. It will show the next record one by one, okay. So in this way, the form will help you to display only one record at a time. Now finally, I just want to make a report of this data, okay. So actually what a report is an effective way to organize and summarize the data for viewing or for printing, okay. A report can be created exactly in the same way as we have created a form. Suppose say if you need a report of this data sheet, so what you have to do is again click on the create button here, okay. So we call this as a report group. Under the report group, simply click on the report button here, okay. Once you click on the report button, now you can see that the report has been created here with the date. So today's date is 1st of July and the time has been shown here, okay. So this is your report with only one page. Now you can take the printout of this report and give it to different students, okay. So in this way we can create the report. So in today's session you have learned how to create and design the form, how to enter the records using the form and place it in the datasheet window, and finally how to create a report, okay. So this is all in today's session. I hope you all have understood it. Thank you children, and do practice it at